my wisdom teeth removal finally arrived. I had been dreading it for weeks, but I knew it had to be done. I woke up early that morning and got dressed in my comfiest clothes. I didn't want to wear anything too tight around my neck in case I got swelling. I ate a light breakfast and then headed to the dentist's office. The dentist was a kind older woman who put me at ease right away. She explained the procedure to me and answered all of my questions. After a few minutes of waiting, it was time for the surgery to begin. The dentist injected me with a local anesthetic, and then she started to work. I felt a little bit of pressure, but no pain. The surgery took about an hour. When it was over, the dentist gave me some pain medication and told me to rest. I was exhausted, so I went home and went straight to bed. The next few days were pretty rough. I had a lot of pain and swelling, and I could barely eat, but I knew that it would all be worth it in the end. After a week, I was finally feeling back to normal. I was so glad that I had gotten my wisdom teeth removed, but there was one thing I couldn't shake. Every night when I went to bed, I would have the same nightmare. In the nightmare, I would be back in the dentist's office getting my wisdom teeth removed, but this time the surgery would go wrong. The dentist would accidentally cut my tongue off. I would wake up in a cold sweat, my heart racing. I knew that it was just a dream, but it was so real, I couldn't shake the feeling that something bad was going to happen. A few weeks later, I was at home alone watching TV. I had just finished eating dinner and I was feeling pretty relaxed, but then I heard a noise. It sounded like someone was in the kitchen. I got up and went to investigate. The kitchen was empty, but the back door was open. I went to close it, and that's when I saw it. There on the kitchen counter was my tongue. It was severed in half and it was bleeding. I screamed and ran out of the house. I didn't stop running until I was miles away. I never went back to the dentist's office and I never told anyone about what happened. But I still have the nightmare sometimes, and I still wonder, what if it wasn't a dream? I know wisdom teeth are pretty scary. Comment below if you've had your wisdom teeth removed and if it was a painful process, because I actually need to get my wisdom teeth removed as well. I'm not really sure what to expect, but I've been told to not watch videos or it could increase my anxiety on getting my wisdom teeth removed. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video story. I'm not sure why I keep saying video, but let's keep this thing going. James had always been a diligent worker. His life revolved around his job at the prestigious Lawson and Whitman law firm. It was a career he had dedicated himself to for over a decade, earning him the reputation of dependable and committed attorney. But when he received an email one chilly October evening, his life took a sinister turn that would consume him in the ways he could never have imagined. The message had no sender's name, just a cryptic subject line: opportunity awaits. James hesitated but ultimately clicked on the email, and his screen displayed a message inviting him to interview at an unfamiliar law firm called Eternal Legal Services. Intrigued and growing weary of his current job's tasks, James decided to attend the interview. The law firm's office was tucked away in a dimly lit corner of the city, surrounded by crumbling buildings and a thick shroud of mist that obscured the surroundings. The reception area was eerily quiet, and the receptionist, who had a vacant stare, led James into a windowless room. The interview was conducted by a man named Mr. Blackwood, job would require complete dedication. With little information about the firm and intrigued by the promise of a life-changing career, James accepted the job offer that very day. As he signed the contract, Mr. Blackwood emphasized the importance of the unending shift. James didn't fully grasp its meaning until his first day at Eternal Legal Services. The office was an imposing structure with endless rows of identical cubicles stretching as far as the eye could see. It was a maze that seemed to go on forever. There were no windows, and the only source of light was the harsh, fluorescent glow from the ceiling. Colleagues moved about in a haze of monotony, their faces etched with exhaustion. The work at the Eternal Legal Services was relentless, a never-ending cascade of paperwork and court appearances. James quickly realized that the firm had no clients, no cases to win or lose. The work was meaningless, yet it demanded his every waking moment. The unending shift was a nightmare from which he could not escape. Weeks turned into months, and James' life became a blur of cubicles, legal jargon, and sleepless nights. He rarely saw daylight, and the outside world felt like a distant memory. His health deteriorated, and his once clear mind became clouded with exhaustion. Desperate to regain control of his life, James tried to resign, but his attempts were met with a chilling response. Mr. Blackwood appeared at his desk, his eyes devoid of emotion, and uttered a single sentence. "You signed the contract." James' attempts to contact friends and family were equally futile. His calls and messages were unanswered, as if he had been erased from their lives. He was trapped in a nightmarish existence where time seemed to stand still, and the unending shift showed no mercy. As the months turned into years, James became a mere shell of his former self, a prisoner of a job that has devoured his life. He had no choice but to accept his fate, to become another faceless employee lost in the labyrinth of Eternal Legal Services. The mystery of the law firm remained unsolved, its true purpose hidden in the depths of oppressive office. James had become a living ghost, forever bound to the unending shift, his life a cautionary tale of the dangers of ambition and the horrors of a job that had taken over his very existence. It sounds like James took a very bad job, a job that took up all of his time, and essentially it took over his entire life. The fact that the shift never ends is pretty crazy. I could not imagine anything like that. The thing about working is there's always breaks, or like a lunch break or vacation or something. But it seems like this new job literally just took over his entire life, and he didn't have time for anything. And when he tried to resign, somewhere in the contract, there must have said something about not being able to resign. And so it seems like this is just going to be the rest of his life unless he comes up with another plan. But how unfortunate is that? Well, let's get into the next one. The title of this one is called the Game Master Scrim Challenge. Let's get into it. In the sprawling metropolis of Neo City, a sensation swept through the gaming community like wildfire. A virtual reality game named Reality Unleashed. like environment. As Daniel began to explore, he realized that the game had a chilling twist. A masked figure known as the Phantom lurked in the shadows, hunting the players. The Phantom was a nightmarish assassin with a disfigured mask and a gruesome array of weapons. It could appear at any moment, silently stalking its prey through the virtual city. With every player the Phantom eliminated, the prize money increased, incentivizing players to stay in the game. Panic and paranoia spread through the virtual world as players struggled to survive. It wasn't just about winning the money anymore. It was about escaping with their lives. The game master, hidden behind a courtesy of secrecy, addressed the players through cryptic messages. He taunted them, challenging them to outwit the Phantom and claim the grand prize. But it soon became clear that the game master revealed in the terror as he inflicted, orchestrating a deadly spectacle for his own sadistic amusement. Daniel quickly formed alliances with other players, hoping that safety would be found in numbers. Together, they navigated the treacherous virtual city, constantly on edge, knowing that the Phantom could strike at any moment. The world grew darker and more ominous as the Phantom's reign of terror continued, the tension mounting with each passing day. As the game progressed, Daniel and his group discovered that the game master had set up a series of puzzles and challenges scattered throughout the city. Solving them was the key to escaping reality unleashed, but they were no ordinary puzzles. They were mind-bending riddles that required players to think outside the box, often leading them into even deadlier traps. One by one, Daniel's allies fell victim to the Phantom, their virtual lives snuffed out in gruesome ways. Desperation gnawed at him as he realized that the grand prize was becoming a deadly obsession. But he couldn't give up, not when the $100 million seemed so close. In a heart-pounding showdown with the Phantom, Daniel managed to outmaneuver the masked killer, solving the final riddle and triggering a virtual collapse of the cityscape. The game master's sinister creation crumbled around them, and as Daniel emerged victorious, the virtual reality headset was removed from his head. He had won the $100 million prize, but the joy was overshadowed by the chilling reality of the game he had just escaped. The terror and the paranoia still clung to him, leaving scars that would never fade. The game master's sadistic experiment had come to an end, but the haunting memories of reality unleashed would forever haunt Daniel's nightmares. As he walked away from the virtual reality setup, he couldn't help but wonder if he had truly won. The grand prize may have been real, but the cost of claiming it had been a descent into a nightmarish game that blurred the boundaries between reality and horror, leaving him forever changed. I really do love video games, but I'll be completely honest, I don't think I would sign up for anything like this, especially when it kind of involves like your real life. I think it's too dangerous. It sounds fun, shackles that bound young minds to a lifetime of debt, and the loan companies had found a sinister way to ensure their repayment. Laura, a promising college student with the dreams of becoming a successful architect, had no choice but to take out loans to fund her education. She was excited about her future, but oblivious to the dangerous force lurking behind the financial aid she had so desperately needed. One fateful day after graduation, Laura received a mysterious letter in the mail. It was an invitation to visit a prestigious financial institution known as Wealth Endeavors Incorporated. The letter promised a way to manage her student debt more efficiently, offering her a brighter future and freedom from financial burden. Eager to escape the crushing weight of her loans, Laura decided to attend the meeting. The imposing Wealth Endeavors building was a stark contrast to the sleek glass and steel structures of her college campus. Inside, the marble floors and hushed tones of the employees created an eerie atmosphere. She was ushered into a sterile examination room where a professional-looking man introduced himself as Mr. Holloway. He explained that Wealth Endeavors had developed cutting-edge technology to help borrowers manage their debt more effectively. This technology, he claimed, was the solution to all of Laura's problems. The process involved a small microchip implant, he explained. It would be inserted into the base of her skull, seamlessly integrated with her neural pathways, and connected to her bank account. The chip would monitor her financial activity and ensure prompt and automatic loan repayments. Laura hesitated, but was reassured that it was a common procedure and many graduates had already undergone it. The surgery was quick and painless, but Laura felt a strange sense of unease as she left Wealth Endeavors. As the weeks went by, she began to notice subtle changes in her behavior. She was more focused on her career, driven to succeed, but the drive came at a cost. The chip seemed to have a mind of its own. It controlled Laura's impulses, pushing her to work longer hours, spend less, and save every penny. Her friends noticed the change in her demeanor, the way she had become obsessed with her financial stability, but Laura couldn't stop herself. One evening, while browsing online, she stumbled upon a forum where other borrowers shared their experiences. They called themselves Chipped, and their stories were eerily similar to Laura's. They had all undergone the procedure at Wealth Endeavors and felt as though their lives were no longer their own. The Chipped began to investigate the true purpose of the microchip implants. They discovered that the loan companies had been using the technology to exert control over borrowers. The chips monitored their every move, manipulated their financial decisions, and even influenced their career choices to ensure maximum profit. Laura and the Chipped realized they had to find a way to break free from the grip of Wealth Endeavors. With the help of a rogue scientist who sympathized with their plight, they devised a plan to override the microchip's control. In a daring and risky procedure, the scientists managed to disconnect the chips from their neural pathways. The moment the chips were deactivated, a wave of relief washed over Laura and the Chipped. They were finally free from the insidious influence of companies had been using the microchips to create a generation of financial slaves ensnared in a web of debt and control. Laura and her fellow survivors vowed to expose the truth and bring the loan companies to justice. They had escaped the clutches of the debt imprint, but the scars of their ordeal would forever remind them of the terrifying power that financial institutions could wield over those desperate enough to seek their aid. Wow, that was a really, really good story. Honestly, I could see that turning into like a movie or like a TV show or something, just based off of that idea of student debt, institutions, loan companies like making you get a microchip in order to secure the loan. That sounds super futuristic, but I mean, at the same time, like the way AI and everything has been going the last couple of years, it doesn't sound too far-fetched. Now, I'm not giving anyone any ideas. Absolutely not. That sounds pretty terrifying. But this definitely reminds me of like a movie or a TV show or something futuristic like that. But let me know what you thought of that story in the comments below as well. As always, I appreciate everyone for stopping by this video, and if you've seen any of my other videos, I really do appreciate that. I have 557 subscribers, and let me tell you, when I started this earlier this year, I had no idea where this was going to go. And to be honest, the fact that I'm still able to consistently produce like content and make videos, it makes me really happy, and I really do appreciate everyone's support. Every time someone comments or likes the video, it really does make me happy, and it makes me want to continue to do these types of videos and try new things. The ASMR community is awesome. The people that I've met so far have all been amazing, and thank you everyone as well, just for your support. I'm going to continue to put in the work and put these videos out. Again, I do have a pretty busy schedule, and the last month or two have been extremely busy, but like I said earlier, I haven't forgotten about any of you, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep it going. Thank you all again for your support. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, drop a comment. If you want to just drop a comment and just say, hey, how's it going? Hope all is well. That's perfectly fine too. I really do like the community that has kind of been created with these types of videos. I'm meeting people that I've never met before, and just knowing that my videos bring some type of peace or help you sleep, or just help